Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer, and to all of you that keep coming back, hello and welcome back. Quick reminder, if you've never subscribed, just to remind you to click that red button there that says subscribe, and after that click the bell sign. That way you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So in today's video I want to address this particular thing that's been going on. There's this Nigerian guy and his name is Timi Dakolo, and a lot of you, I don't know if you all know him. For those of you that do not know who he is, this song that I normally play at the end of my videos, and a lot of people really like it, the song Goodbye Friends. He is the singer that sang that song. So basically what's been going on is that this guy has been making posts and exposing a particular making posts and trying to expose a pastor that has been he's a married pastor, a Nigerian pastor. He's married and everything, but he's been, from what they're saying, from what he's writing, he's been sleeping around with a lot of the girls in the church, and he's breaking hearts from here to there. And he is some people said they were raped by him. So I'm going to read to you guys some of his posts he has there on Instagram. So in this one he said, from Ilorin to Abuja. For those of you that do not know, these are the names of estates in Nigeria. So from Ilorin to Abuja to Lagos to Dubai. Dubai is another country anyways. To Port Harcourt to London and any city he visits. Your pastor is leaving a trail of broken women, sexually abused and mentally strangled. From avalanche to gratitude, from pastoral care unit to hosts and hostesses, from witty inventions to hospitality unit. They are found in every department in that church. He handpicks his victims and ruins them. Okay? He handpicks his victims and ruins them. Another one, he says, so none of you wonder why a dedicated church worker or leader stop coming to church and don't want to talk about it. Suddenly rumors start flying around about the person being evil. I will tell you all straight up. All your branch pastors know about this evil going on for years and are part of it. Okay, another one, he says, some of the victims they will threaten, some they will pay off, and some they will suppress by isolating them from the church members. Oga, criminal lawyer. For those of you that are not Nigerians, when you say Oga means boss or the master. Criminal lawyer, always ready to do the dirty work behind the scene, just to drown the truth. Dear church members, try and find these ladies and men to hear their side of the truth before crucifying them or branding them evil. Trust me, their side of the story will shock you. Another one, he says, what it concern me with two adults having sex? They are both adults. You know, I've said that before. I've made videos where I've said that two adults, whatever they do, that's a choice. For me, it is when it becomes, when somebody, because okay, what they do is their choice. They are two grown adults. But when a pastor sleeps with somebody and then tries to, or gives her something to drink to abort the pregnancy, then it's no longer just two adults consenting, because two adults consent to do something, that's a choice. But when you now give her something to drink and she loses the pregnancy, that's no longer a consent. That's the consent is out of that, because she lost the pregnancy without her consent. Okay, so or begin to lock them up or jail them or threaten them. You know, I've said it before, two people deciding to, whatever two people decide to do, two consenting adults between them, is a sin. Whatever, if it's a sin, it's not a sin, whatever it is between them at the end of the day. But you know, I've tried to talk about how something can be a sin but not the crime. So if something is a sin, it's between you and God eventually when you meet your maker, and but when it becomes a crime, it's different, because you've done something that is against the law. You know, something that is against the law, that is criminal, that is a crime. I'll read on. He said, what it concern me with two adults having sex? They are both adults. Sleeping with ladies forcefully is what this is all about. Okay, and he says, now rush to church and ask your pastor. Timi Dakolo is saying this is what you did. Is it true? How many of them will ask their pastors? They won't. Another post, he said, make una wait for me, and I am in my creative space. I am writing a beautiful song. I will be back with truths that makes the guilty tremble and gullible uneasy. And then another post he made, I'm just reading a lot of this post at random, not the particular order that he posted them. This one, he said, "Dear aggrieved and aggressive church members, please use the same energy you are using to call me and threaten me or slide into my DM to search for these victims and ask them what really happened. That is what Jesus would do." You know, I really enjoy reading every part of this, you know, and this is the exact same thing that, you know, I make a post and I discuss some of these things, and you will see the passion that these people will use to defend their pastors. And I'm like, you're defending people that know themselves that they've goofed, but you spend so much time trying to defend them. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's one. And then another one, he said, "Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm." I have used that line to scam us well. In Nigerian, when we say, in pidgin English, when you say well, it means very well, a lot. So it's a way of emphasizing how much it's been done. So how we carefully uproot a scripture and give it an interpretation that suits us without actually knowing the context with which it was said. I really enjoyed reading everything this guy was sharing. And he said, both the congregation and the pastor are very much anointed. Jesus did not die two separate deaths. Are you listening to this? And he says, one for the pastor and one for the congregation. The house of God is a place of prayer, not a den of thieves. I enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed reading his post. There's this other post as well. I think is a screenshot of somebody's post of one of the girls that has been abused by this pastor, and he says, "As much as I want to believe I am okay, the truth is I am not. I'm still broken emotionally because I see this man living a happy life by deceiving people. Psychologically, it's playing a deep role in my life and relationship. The men that comes around me end up saying I hate men, and they doubt they can spend their forever with someone like me. The picture is still so fresh in my head like it was yesterday. Living with such a heavy heart and hatred in my heart has denied me a lot. I am so not okay." Then it says, it's the societal stigma that comes with a girl that has been through rape. The shame that comes alongside has shut my mouth, but my heart bleeds for justice. Losing my virginity to my pastor is in such brutal way breaks me daily. Okay, so some people have their speculations. There are speculations as to the pastor he's talking about, and you can see in the comments he's getting a lot of support and everything. But from the other one from one of his posts that I read, you would see that he's talked about people that are coming for him. So I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. I've had, you know, when it comes to ladies that go and sleep with their, you know, have this relationship with their pastors, you know, we have to address one area of this whole thing is, you know, ladies that actually go out having this relationship with their pastors and falling victims for their pastors. You know, you really have to start changing your mentality about this picture that like, you see, when people idolize their pastors so much, this is part of the problem, you know. And the thing again, you know the Bible. This is the question. You know the Bible. Your pastor is married. What kind of relationship, you know, those that say they were heartbroken or whatever, you know, your pastor is a married man. What are you expecting to come out of any kind of a relationship with a man that is married? You know, obviously he's playing you along. And the truth is, when people, a lot of younger people wouldn't even think about it. A lot of young girls can easily be deceived into falling a victim for things like this. They just feel like whatever my pastor says has to be right. As in your pastors, you should know what the Bible says. Don't go, my pastor is doing it, so it has to be right. Or my pastor is having an affair with me, it has to be right because it's the pastor. You know what the Bible says. You know what the Bible says. So that's that. But at the same time, there are people that fall victim to these pastors because the pastors will twist the Bible to suit their agenda. And there's another thing again is when people have idolized pastors, what do you expect? Pastor is like a god to them. When a pastor says, oh, it has to be right, I know I am your pastor, I'm telling you it's okay. Or the pastor can actually say to you, you know, God has told me that I can do it. And some people will go because, you know why? Because the pastors have become God in their lives. You should know God to the point where if your pastor is saying something and it's not backed by the Bible, you should be able to say, no, it's not the Bible, I'm not going to do that. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, it's not happening. So yeah, we have to say a lot of these girls are victims. There's no doubt about that. They are victims, and you can't just make mockery. You can't make mockery or play down what they've been through. These things have to be addressed. You know, the sun is bright. I hope my camera is not overexposed. Oh my goodness, the sun is out. The sun keeps coming and going. So we can't downplay. We can't downplay what these people have been through. That's that. You know, we have to say that your pastor is not God. It is only one God, and it's not your pastor. He's just there. He's the man. He won't be like you and I. They can get it wrong. They are not always right. So stop idolizing pastors. That's why I've made videos where I say, put these pastors down. Put them down. They are no special breed of human beings. They're just like you and I. Put them down so they can't be humble. You know, respect your pastor like you can respect anybody else. But when you begin to idolize them, that's what happens. And then that's when people fall victim for things like this. So that's that said. We still have to come back and address this issue of, you know, all these pastors and things like this. The area I really want to talk about is this. These pastors will not stop. They will not stop. How will they stop when they are like gods to you people? You know, that's why the Bible talked about, you know, it to be easier for the head of a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to make the kingdom of God. It's not just the money that the Bible is talking about, because what happens is why the Bible talk about things like this is that there is so much money can do. Money can make people powerful. And what happens with that being powerful? Wealth, being stinkily rich, makes people powerful. And what then happens is that when people become powerful, there's so much they can do. They can definitely get out of control. That is where the problem is. That is where the problem is. They can get out of control. A lot of the issues that we're talking about all the time, excess wealth. And that is why the Bible tries to warn people about, you know, how hard it can be for a rich man to get into the kingdom of God. And what's happening with these pastors is a lot of them are collecting all these tithes and offerings, and they are so stinkily rich, and then that makes them powerful. They're not just powerful like politicians are powerful, like, okay, they have money, but you know what these pastors have? They have this power that, you know, we are the pastors. We're not just pastors, we are gods, because people treat them like gods. And when people begin to play God, then people begin to feel like gods. They feel the kind of powerfulness that they feel is actually worse than the ones for politicians, because they are not just got a, you know, people look at them like, if pastor laid their hands on me, my life is changed, forgetting that your pastor is not God. If my pastor pronounce a blessing on me, then it'll happen. Like politicians have like a physical kind of power, if I can say that, but people see the pastors as having this spiritual power, supernatural powers. So it's not just that these pastors are secular rich, people see them as supernaturally powerful. You know, do you remember there was a girl a long time ago that had an affair with a pastor, and she was talking about how I think he was flying her abroad and everything. I think that was in London. A lot of you would have heard about that one. She was talking about how, you know, he would meet her in hotel rooms and everything. And there was a particular day she was saying to him like something like, if I'm not mistaken, she was like, is this not a sin? And he was like, no, you know, because I'm a pastor, I have a special grace that allows me to do this. This is the deception. These are the things we're talking about. And the important area I really want to address is when this Timi, this guy, this singer that is addressing this thing, talked about how people were coming for him. I want to really address that. And I was really pleased when I heard that somebody like him is speaking up, because he's a singer. I don't know how famous he is in Nigeria, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, he's a big voice, you know, because he has a lot of followers and a fan base or whatever, and that's why voices like that are important. And I was pleased. But when people like him and people that have big platform are comfortable enough to come up and speak up against things like this, you know, I'm happy to hear people like that speak up, because there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that are just comfortable in their own positions, like, oh yeah, well, it's not happening to my child, it's not happening to my daughter, it's not happening to my son, it's not happening to my family, we're doing all right, you know, concern me. And that is the mentality that's destroying our people. That is the mentality. You know, I've had people come on my channel and they leave comments, you know, people that come to my channel and they, you know, it's funny because, you know why it's funny? I've made a video about something relating to this, and it became a big rant that I ended up not posting it. I may still post that video because, you know, I started that video, I just dived into a rant and I said, you know what, I'm not going to post it. I still have it. I may actually post it, but what I hate the most is this, okay, a lot of people are happy to come out and let God use them to speak up, okay? Now, I'm going to put it this way, right? I feel like my biggest annoyance when it comes to things like this is this. Okay, now, there are some of us that are happy to come up and speak up. You don't want to be part of people that speak up. That's fine. That's not a problem at all. It's not everybody that will come up and speak up. We're all wired differently. If I do not say, we all reason differently. There are a lot of people that are ready to wake up and take up a battle, while some people are not like that. That's not a problem. You don't have to be like us that come up and speak about these things. That is not a problem at all. Like, seriously, it's not a problem. Okay, then there are some people that are not speaking up, but they support the people that speak up. Awesome. That is awesome. You don't have to speak up if you don't want to. You don't even have to support the people that speak up if you don't want to. That's not a problem at all. You don't have to. Where I have a problem is this: you are not speaking up. That's not a problem. You're not supporting people that speak up. That's also not a problem. But where it becomes a problem, when you become a nuisance, is when then you're not speaking up, you're not supporting those that speak up, but instead you attack those that speak up. That is when you are a nuisance. I'm not saying this as an insult. I'm saying it as a statement of fact. A nuisance. You are an obstacle. You are an obstacle to those that want to speak up. I'm going to say it again, because some people are going to miss my point. You don't have to be among those that speak up. Not everybody's going to do this. There is nothing wrong with that. You don't even have to support those that speak up. There's nothing wrong with that as well. No, not everybody have to support those that speak up. But when it becomes a problem is when you then attack those that speak up. Then you are a problem. You are a problem. There are a lot of Nigerians, one mentality in Nigeria that is killing us as a people is that mentality of, if it doesn't affect me, I don't have to even talk about it. If it doesn't affect me, it's not a problem. If it doesn't affect me, it's not a problem. Let me tell you something. There were some people that used to support my channel when I just showed my family and stuff like that. And then when I started speaking up about things that I have passion to speak up about, things that I'm seeing, that I see, and I see the need to speak up about, they turned around and they started saying crap about me. I have nothing to say. Like it doesn't bother me at all. When people say it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect my family. So because it doesn't affect your family, it's not a problem. That is one of the biggest problems in Nigeria. And the thing is this, okay? Today is somebody else's child that is being raped by a pastor. Tomorrow it could be your child, okay? Tomorrow it could be your child. All these things people are keeping quiet about, it will come back tomorrow and bite a lot of people in the backside. Somebody else's child is raped by a pastor today. Somebody else's child is given a drug to abort pregnancy. Somebody else's child is locked up is threatened by a pastor and locked up somewhere. Somebody else's child is going through all these things, and you guys are enabling your pastors to become even more powerful and feel more superior than everybody else. Yet they keep committing these atrocities. Let me tell you, if these pastors are not stopped, they are going to get worse. Because it's not happening to your child today does not mean it will not happen to your child tomorrow. The pastor raped somebody else's child, raped a teenager, got somebody pregnant and gave her to abort the pregnancy, destroyed people emotionally, and all these things that are going on. Is not happening to your child today, but guess what? It may happen to your child tomorrow. If it doesn't happen to your child tomorrow, it may be your grandchild that's going to be a victim tomorrow. Instead of you to think about how to be a part of the solution, you are part of the problem. When you attack people like this that speak up, attack people that speak up. To be honest with you, I'm going to say it. This guy, I'm proud of people like this that confidently, they don't care about the victimization that they're going to experience. They don't care about being victimized or losing friends or losing favors. They come out and speak up because something is wrong. It's wrong. They don't care who is doing it. Come out and speak up, because whatever is wrong is wrong. But those of you that go and fight a person like that or fight a person like me because it doesn't affect you, you are part of the problem. Another video I'm going to make, I'm going to address a lot of things. When Nigerians sit in their quiet corner like, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect me, my family is, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect, we're doing okay, it doesn't affect us. Let me tell you, this is why, you see, so that's why you look at people living in Lekki, rich people, billionaires living in Lekki. because they feel like the corruption in the country, it's okay. At least I'm doing okay financially. We are rich people. Yet people that are living in Lekki, upon how rich they are, have you seen the flood? The flood that flood and destroy their house all the time. Look at them driving as if that when the rainy season come, see how they're driving as if they are driving in rivers. At the end of the day, no matter how rich you are, the problem in the country, because of the poor drainage and poor infrastructures in that country, is affecting you somehow. You're like, oh, I'm mistakenly rich, it doesn't affect me. Oh, I'm a YouTuber, look at me, my family is doing okay, it does not affect us. The same Nigeria you are living, you know, things, it annoys me. It really does annoy me that people that have a position to address this topic, I'm gonna say it, they don't have to address these topics. They don't have to. But you know, it annoys me that somebody that has a platform to discuss topics like this, you know, you're not doing it. That's not a problem. I keep saying it and I mean it, that you don't have to. Not everybody have to do it. But when it's a problem is when you have a platform, you're not doing it. That's fine. But somebody else is doing it, you're fighting the people that are doing it. You're fighting the people that are doing it. I saw that, I wanted to share about it. And you know, some people are pointing fingers at the pastors that they think he's talking about. Some people already have a name that they think is the pastor he's referring to. And there's a particular pastor people have been thinking he's the one that they said. So people think he's the one, but I feel like, unfortunately, we come from a country where a lot of these things, where is the law and order? Like, I'm going to keep asking these questions, because in a how many times have you ever heard in Nigeria that a pastor was arrested, and you know, the only ones they arrest are the poor pastors that are still struggling. The pastors that are rich and famous, they never commit a crime. No matter what they do, they are never arrested and locked up. But go to some other countries and you hear today there's a pastor is asked 3 questions about this, there's an investigation, pastors are being locked up and jailed, pastors are in court. But it's not happening in Nigeria, because pastors are gods in Nigeria, especially the rich ones. It's only the small ones that are still coming up that sometimes they are arrested or whatever. You know, I saw this post about this guy and I just thought I should add my voice to it. And I should add my voice to it. I'm proud of what he's doing. I'm really proud of what he's doing, because a lot of people are comfortable at the top. It's not my child, it doesn't matter. I'm comfortable, you know, I'm a singer. I don't know how rich or how famous he is in Nigeria, like I said, you know, but whatever position he is, he didn't give a damn. He came up to speak up for the truth, you know, and that is commendable. And that is if only more Nigerians would be like that, seriously, our country would change. But because a lot of everybody's like, you know, concern me is not my child, you know, concern me. I'm just going to end this video by saying this: today is not your child, tomorrow it could be your child. And most importantly, I'm going to say it again, if you have a platform, it would be a good idea if you use your platform to speak up. But even if you don't want to, that is fine. You don't have to. That's not a problem, you know. So even if you don't speak up, you can use your platform to, you know, show support for those that speak up. But you don't have to as well. Honestly, you don't have to do that as well. The only thing then you shouldn't be doing is fighting those that are doing it. The only time it becomes a problem is when you attack those that are doing it. And with that, I'm just gonna say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye bye. Bye.
It's goodbye, friends, and goodbye.